Starfield, easily one of the most anticipated games of 2022. Being the new IP in almost 25 years for Bethesda, they believe that this game is going to be their return to form after the whole Fallout 76 fiasco. I have to be clear here, I have never played any Bethesda games before, mostly because their games are not really of my vibe, but mostly because I couldn't play them. But nonetheless, I am very excited for Starfield. Announced way back in 2018, the game has gone through several stages of development and there are a lot of expectations here. According to Todd Howard, since the gaming community is really looking forward for a true be-all end-all kind of space science fiction adventure game, they believe that they can pull this off. Now, given the fact that they have 25 years of experience in making games, especially in single-player RPG games with very customizable characters and very in-depth lore, it seems like Bethesda should pull this off very easily. Or at least that's the hope that a lot of players have, including me. Now, this game is being developed on Creation Engine 2, and this is the same engine that they have been using since the development of Skyrim, but it has been updated from scratch for Starfield. While the teaser trailer looks awesome, and remember, this is just in-game alpha footage. This only shows what kind of aesthetics and themes that they are going for. While the graphics in-game will not look just as they do in the trailer, we can certainly get an idea to what we can expect from Starfield. Of course, make no mistake, this is the biggest game that Bethesda has ever taken up, so we can expect some great or amazing visuals in the game with the power of Creation Engine 2. Ever since the announcement of the game, Bethesda has repeatedly talked about the technology that they have been working on for this game in particular, so the scale and scope of the game are going to be massive. For now, we only know so much about the game's world, which is a good thing because we absolutely hate having any leaks or spoilers released, but we do know few places within this game. For instance, our home constellation, the settled systems, which is about 50 light years away from our solar system. And then we have the city of Neon, where Xenofrex Corporation discovered a fish with psychotropic properties which led them in creation of a drug called Aurora. Or the city of New Atlantis, the capital city of the United Colonies. Now, the United Colonies are the most powerful, established military and political faction within the game. And then we have Aquila City, the capital city of Freestar Collective, and so on and so forth, such as Vanguard, Sysdiff, and Mast. Now, this is what pulls me towards the game. The tons of planets to explore, going on a single-player adventure to different biomes, meeting different factions, creating my own story that is unique to me. Of course, there will be some common story beats that every player goes through, but that is what I'm really looking forward to, exploration. Now, the obvious caveat here is that if they really make this game truly open world and explorable, there's going to be a lot of empty and wastelands, so my best guess is that there's going to be a linear but restrictive explorable area. For instance, you have a planet that you can explore, which will take you a couple of hours to explore, but not truly open world in the real sense. But that's just an estimate or just a guess, but we have to wait and see. As I mentioned in my previous video, I absolutely love space, science fiction and exploration games, and Starfield really hits all the right notes for me. The visual aesthetics, the vibes, the grand scale and the scope of the game, the single player space adventure, I love everything about that, but there are things that do worry me. Obviously, the very big elephant in the room is that they have pretty much messed up the launch of Fallout 76, and it did leave a bitter taste in players' mouths. It was a rushed game with a lot of features that not many actually wanted or needed. While even in 2022 there are players who still enjoy Fallout 76, which is great and more power to them, that's just not what the player base actually expected to have. So a prospect of a new game from Bethesda made a lot of players think twice before considering about this game. Now, I think that's a good sign because it's always good to be cautious when you have a bad experience with certain game company. Like I mentioned earlier, Bethesda are really banking on this game. They have repeatedly mentioned that this was going to be their return to form and they will do their best and do what they do best, create rich worlds with incredible single-player narrative stories, but only time will tell. At the time of making this video on February 15, 2022, they are only months away from the actual release of the game. And my worry is that even if the game is not ready, they would push this game out since the game has been in development almost 7 years. I had to bring Cyberpunk up here, but the game was also about 7 to 8 years in development, and Look where we are at with Cyberpunk. It pretty much tarnished their reputation and every single goodwill that they had. So I certainly don't want this to happen to Bethesda. I don't want this to happen to any game development company. So Bethesda, please, for the love of God, please take your time. If you have to delay the game a few more months, make sure you do so. Just make sure that the game is actually good. As far as the story goes, at this point I don't think they will make any changes to the narrative, so the best we can do is just to hope for the best and pray that the humanity's greatest mystery is not some nonsensical philosophical mumbo jumbo, but some actually good story. In the end, I am going to be playing this game for sure, but I will be cautious and look for any red flags that may pop up until the game is actually released. Let me know what you think of it, because I know a lot of you are excited for the game too. But remember, keep an open mind about the game, keep your expectations in check. I don't want you to get mad or angry or upset if the game is not up to your standards. Of course, it's a game development company's job to make our expectations higher, but we also have to do our part to keep ourselves in check. Anyway, that's what I think about Starfield, and I'm really looking forward to it. Let me know in the comments what you think of it. And yeah, thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye bye and peace.